Hello, welcome back. I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And we're Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. Today, we're down here talking to Townsend from 100% Dad. Okay. So, why don't you tell our viewers and everybody what 100% Dad's all about?
100% Dad, it's an online platform. It's exactly what it says it is. Can you see the up part?
Yep, we can see it all. Providing encouragement and wisdom for dads.
So I'm obviously a dad. I have 3 kids. The picture's on the side of the rig. And we are traveling the country. We're driving around. The intent was for this to be a tour, and we were going to hold events and workshops and things like that. But COVID happened, so now we are traveling and still promoting, but doing everything online and with less contact.
Okay.
I think now we're down in Texas for the winter, and churches are starting to gather again, things like that. So I think following COVID guidelines, we should be able to hold events soon. That would be great.
So what type of things do you do at your events?
We haven't done them yet.
So with the COVID, have you done like Zoom then and things like that, or?
So I've done a couple conferences where I've been a speaker and just talking about that stuff. But the tricky part is being a dad is so involved. We kind of do one topic at a time.
Okay.
Where a workshop we could do a full day or 2 days, and we can start to cover more and more topics. And the reason our Instagram is been our best platform is because we can kind of dial everything down, take little bite-sized pieces and release them. And in context of a meme, it's easier to digest and easier to receive. And we don't necessarily post daily because we're camping and we don't always have internet access.
Right.
So for the most part, we've been relying on the meme structure.
Okay.
To grow, and that it's done well for us on Instagram. And then we've been from a business standpoint, even though we don't sell anything, which should soon change. We're testing a store, but even though we don't sell anything, we've been putting the content out for free. And so on Instagram, that is the best way received because it's been all memes.
Okay.
So, and that that has allowed us to grow. Still getting exposure with the RV. Obviously,
right.
That's how you guys saw us. Driving around, it definitely grabs attention. But I'm looking forward to being able to do events. It's, and tweaking them and finding ways to make them fun and informative, and encouraging the good dads to continue to be good dads, and the dads that are struggling and looking for pieces of wisdom here and there, presenting them with those resources.
So just nuggets of wisdom for dads.
Exactly.
Sounds good. All right. So he said about the RV. That's how we noticed him. Actually, we were here at the park that we're actually filming at, and they came in their RV, and it's completely wrapped head to tail here with 100% dad stuff. So it was pretty cool. And then Allison jumped on and started to do some research. We contacted him, and here we are sitting down doing an interview.
Yeah, me being nosy. As soon as we passed him, I went to Facebook and searched, or I don't know if it was Google or Facebook first, but I went and searched, and I said, "What on earth is that?" And then I was, reading a little bit about it and talking about encouraging dads, uplifting dads. In these times, dads sometimes aren't there for whatever reason, and so it's nice to have somebody that can encourage and help somebody along, somebody that you can talk to and get advice from. We're empty nesters now, so we like to encourage the younger dads as we go, or me, the moms. I could give them a pat on the back, but yeah. So how did you get started with being 100% dad?
Well, I consummated the relationship with my wife, and we had children.
All right.
Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, there you go.
I've always enjoyed being a dad. It's kind of something I always, at some level wanted to be. I just always wanted kids, and I think I enjoyed being a kid. So,
yeah.
And then it just kind of evolved from there. And I'm trying to sum a long story up into a short story, but I was a business owner, and at some point I was worried that I was going to be dead before I was 30. And I just kept having dreams, and the thought just kept hammering me that I'm going to die early, that my luck will run out by some tragic circumstance. And so I started to build a binder of what to do for Ryan and the employees, what to do if I were to die. Like step one, on day one, I'm dead. Here's what we need to do. Here's the people we need to call. This is what we need to tell the customers. These are the vendors we need to call. This is the operations that we do. Wrote letters to employees, wrote letters to my wife, and it was about an inch thick, and it just detailed out the business, and it gave me great clarity as a business owner on what the business was, where we were going, and things like that. And it also gave me peace of mind because now I knew my family was secure, because that was our primary source of income. If I was very hands-on, like the business ran because of me, and if I disappear, the business could crash within weeks in a sense.
Right.
So this was a very good piece of security for me and my family. And I felt I had replaced Townsend, the business owner, so well that after that I started to think, all right, so I've got my business covered for my family. If I were to die today, I think I might have only had Levi at that point. My son's 3. There's a lot of life lessons that I haven't taught yet. So what do I want my son to know? If I were to die today, from the grave, how do I teach him? These are Dad's values. This is why Dad feels this way. This is how Dad thinks. So I started jotting down things I would want to tell my kids, and the way I live, and the way I want them to live, what I want for them. I wrote was probably a decent book. But all parenting books suck to me. It's incredibly boring. So I've not released it, and I don't plan on releasing that specific book. We might go a book down the road, just better formatted. We've got to find a way to make parenting books interesting, because I can't read them without just
sleeping after page 3.
They're just incredibly boring to me. Even though the content's interesting, it's the way it's laid out. It's just boring to me. But like a business book is super interesting to me. So I don't know why. But, it's just how I read them, and when I talk to people that have read parenting books, with the exception of moms. Moms seem to be very interested, but dads, their brains just can't get into it. It's just not. There's no level of excitement there, I guess.
I think the book idea for what you were just talking about would be like you said, teaching from the grave.
Yeah.
So you're gone, and your kids are going through all that stuff that you were writing. I think that would be the way to write that.
Had I died, it might have worked out.
Oh no.
No, you don't want to do that now.
So in a sense, we're kind of retaking that content and reformatting it for social media purposes. So instead of trying to sell a book, we're just giving it out for free, building a brand, building a following.
Okay.
And then one day monetizing off of that. Otherwise, it'll just be my mission. So it'll just be if we could stop the cash hemorrhage one day in the future, it'd be great. But right now, I can afford it, so we do it.
So when and if the COVID lifts, what do you see? How is this going down the road? Like how are your seminars or your whatever you're doing, the speaking or whatever? How do you see those going down the road? Churches or fairs?
There's endless paths. Which ones become successful? I let in business talk. I let the market decide.
Right. Who knows?
So we'll try a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
We'll start off in churches most likely because logistically that's going to be easiest. Since they typically already have spaces, they already have audio and visual setups. They already have an audience there and a willing audience. So that'll probably be the logical place to do the workshops to start. Being able to segregate off of that would be great. But then we're looking at, we have to find a place that has the logistics, that has a place we can meet, that has audio and video, or we'd have to bring in our own. That's cost effective. So that one that'll be a little bit more of a challenging step. It's obviously the next step. Holding week-long retreats, I guess you could call it, would be a really fun thing that I want to do, where we could either gather dads together, and there'll probably be a few different options where dads get together, and we could do fun stuff. We could do metalworking, we could do hunts, we could do fishing trips, we could do real survival skill type stuff. and bring in, you know, experts in those fields to help teach us, just because those things are cool and fun
Yeah.
to do, and I like being a man, and I'm, you know, and I, you know, it'd be fun to do, and then work dad lessons in throughout the day. You know, maybe have like 1 or 2 classroom type sessions, and then go out and, you know, find a way to climb a tree and jump on a wild boar.
Cool. Yeah. Hunt with spears.
Yeah.
Get muddy.
So there's lots of like things like that we could do, and then we could have like father-son retreats. We could have you know, father-daughter retreats, family retreats, husband and wife getaways. We could you know, do you know, we could bring in a hip hop teacher at that point and just spend a week like
Dancing hip hop.
Dad's learning hip hop moves, whatever's current and cool to kids with their kids. It'd just be something fun, something memorable, and a way to gather. And then we could kind of segregate off and still have, you know, little breakouts or workshops, and you know, find a way to keep kids entertained and have fun, and you know, step up the dad game for the dads that are there.
Right. Do you have any of those things lined up? Because I know down here where we are in Texas, it's getting very you know, lax as far as the COVID stuff goes. So you may be able to work something in while you're here.
Yep. So we're going to start working on that. So everything is like, I have ideas written and like formats prepared. What I've not done is locations, because we don't know where we're going to be too much from now.
Okay.
So that we need to. Of course, we can kind of go wherever, but that's our next step. We're slowing down our path now. We've been moving very fast, and this is our longest stay ever. We'll be here for 13 days, and then we're staying within San Antonio. We're going to a KOA downtown. We'll be there for 2 weeks. We've had we've had friends already come in, family come in. We have more friends and family coming in. We have the holidays coming up.
Right.
But if we can kind of keep this kind of path to where we're in a place with good connections, I've got a solid 2 weeks, so I can still go spend time with my family, explore the new cities, record content, create content, but then actually focus on the business and do work that I like to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm pent up right now. I've got like 7 months of not being able to push something forward.
Right.
You know, trying to enjoy the lifestyle we have now, but you know, realistically, I am a business person at heart, and I like to build things, and that's what I want to be doing.
Awesome.
So I mean, we've done a good job on social media. You know, we've gone from 200 followers to over 11,000 on Instagram.
Wow.
So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it could be. You know, everything could be, and I always felt that way in my other businesses as well. Like, we could be growing so much faster. If we just borrowed money, man, we could explode this business.
Yeah.
If I could just work 24 hours a day instead of 18, we could be huge. But in the end, I always end up holding myself back. But this 7 months with COVID has been very enjoying from the father side of me.
Right.
Very frustrating from the business side of me.
I bet. Yeah. It's awesome being, especially since you guys are full-time RVers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the RV or in the area with your kids all the time, which is cool for 100% dad. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You can't, business-wise, I can see how that would be frustrating. I'm lucky enough to be retired, so as of right now, I don't have to do any kind of business. So that's good for me.
You mentioned Instagram, but I see that you do YouTube as well.
Yeah, and we're underutilizing YouTube, to be honest. We are doing, we put our, they're almost like family videos, our experiences as a family, things that we're doing, things that other dads can be doing. But we are definitely underutilizing YouTube, which takes, you know, you guys are, I guess, on the platform.
Yes.
So, and I need to know what you guys do by the end of this thing. But it takes time. Yeah, editing takes time. Sitting down, actually recording, getting different angles takes time.
Right.
You know, making sure your lighting's right takes time. And then what takes even more time is getting in there uninterrupted and doing proper editing.
Yes.
And then if you don't have signal for weeks on weeks on weeks, which has happened to us, uploading becomes very difficult.
Oh, yes.
So, and you know, we live in a COVID world, so a lot of co-works are shut down. You know, Starbucks doesn't let you sit down inside there anymore. And so the places you used to be able to get free internet are not as reliable as they once were.
A lot harder to get into most
But
of them.
Texas is different. We've noticed Texas is a little bit different, which has been nice. So you know, Minnesota is not Texas.
By any means.
It's a beautiful
No,
place.
it
there.
is. It's a lot. It's a lot more relaxed down here, I think, than what you probably see up
And in
in
the
north,
cities,
northeast.
you know, you get and really everywhere we've gone, and rural is a little bit more relaxed. You get into a city environment, and it's difficult. But that's because there are so many people.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I get it at the same time.
So, how long have you guys been full-time RVing?
Oh, that's a good question. We left on May 7th. So,
Okay.
what year is it?
It's 2020.
December, 6-7 months.
So we've got the Instagram and YouTube.
Well, I think we're
You're
everywhere.
on Facebook also, right?
Facebook. I even just created a MeWe page. I don't think that'll take off, but if it does, we're there.
MeWe. Yeah, you did that too. right?
Yeah, I haven't figured it out much yet.
I don't know how to post on that. I know I had to pay like $1.99 for a business page. I'm like,
Oh
all
boy.
right. Where else is there? Instagram, Facebook's. We live on Instagram. I mean that's where.
So that's the big one.
That's
If
where our
you guys
success
want to
is.
check him out, check him out there. That's
Yeah.
probably sounds like where he's got the most of his content.
You can
stuff
make my
there.
ego feel better by subscribing to the other things, and we'll get better at it. So, and then we have our podcast online, and we call that Interviews with Dads. We sit down with dads and we just talk.
Well, there you go. Go check out Townsend at 100 Dad on all of his social media platforms and help him out there.
All right, if you enjoyed this video, please like, that thumbs up, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us, and come see us next time on
Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.
Bye.